Okay, just make a note for graphing. We need a package which is called ggplot. But we are lucky because ggplot is inside tidyverse. So we don't have to do anything. Just continue with coding. We only need tidyverse. All right, write down the steps. This is the first step in which you tell the basics of the graph. The hashtag can be anything. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's what you write. It's what R ignores. Whatever you put in hash, it's like a comment. Okay, so you start your function with ggplot and open a bracket. Okay, the first thing you use is say data equals. So in this one, you tell which data frame do you want to use. So you say the data is from df, the one that we made on the top, and put a comma and enter. Okay, and then you say mapping. Sorry. Okay, when you say mapping equal, well, look here, this is a bit difficult. Take notes at the back. Look here, it's a bit difficult. So you have to say mapping equals AES and open a bracket. AES stands for aesthetics. Okay, in this one you say what do you want on the x-axis, what do you want on the y-axis. So you say x equals, let's do age on the x-axis. Put a comma and enter. And then say y equals, what do you want on the y-axis? Let's put following. Is it okay so far? Now if I do control enter right now, let's see what happens. So if I do control enter, look at that on the right. It started to make the graph for you on the right side. So you're saying on the x-axis you have age, and on the y-axis you have following, just like we did there. Does that make sense? Okay, let's continue. Then you put a plus. And press enter. Now from this point on, you give me the geometry of the graph. Geometry. By geometry, I mean which graph do you want? So just make a note for today, we will learn the line graph. Just a line going through the points.
So try to just before the bracket.
Yeah, just this thing on the right. No, without the plus. If you put the plus, it'll give you an error because there needs to be something after the plus. Okay, so to plot the points, just make a note, the function to use is called GEOM underscore point. I don't know why this is giving me an error. Let's delete this. So just make a note, to plot the points, you have to say GEOM underscore point and open and close bracket. And let's see what happens. If I do control enter, look at that. All of your data points are now on the graph. Does that make sense? It's pretty cool if you think about it. Just one thing is creating the graph. Right now, what if you don't like the color of the graph or the size? Inside the bracket, you say size equals. And you give a number. Let's give 3. And put a comma and say color. All right, give me a color. What color do you want? Blue? Let's see what happens if I run this now. Look at that. The size got a bit bigger and the color became blue. Does that make sense? Okay, let's do one more thing. So put another plus. And let's do the line connecting the dots now. So any guesses what the function should be called? GEOM underscore. What are we doing? Line. Open and close. Right, if I run this, see what happens? It connects the dots with the line. Say it again, sorry. Yeah, that's what we'll do next. Yeah, well done. So same thing inside the bracket. If you don't like the color, you say color, and you can just play around. There's a lot of things you can do, right? But these are the basics. Give me a color. Red, blue again. I think R is an American program, so it will. Yeah. But you can try it. If error, just change it. Yeah. Control Enter. Look what happens. Blue, yellow, sorry. Does that make sense? Let's do one last thing, which will be giving a title, right? If you want to give a title to the graph, very important, you have to give a title. So to give a title, the function is called labs. And in the bracket, you say title equals, and in double quotes, give a title. Let's call it the first line graph that you made. Exciting. No? Yes. So now look at this. If I do control enter, look at this on the top, first line graph. Now, what if you want to bring this outside of this R and save it into your folder? So write down how to export your image. So you click on this button here above the graph and you say save as the image. And you give a name as you want, say line graph 1. And you say save. It'll be saved in the same place of your project. By this button here, just above the graph, export and save as image. You can save it as a PDF, but then if you want to move it to a Word document later, it'll be difficult. So save it as an image. Okay, and if you say save, and if you check your files, you should see the line graph there. And if you click on it, hopefully it should open up. If it opens up, all right, it doesn't open up in mine. Check if it opens up there, but it should open up. Yeah, it should open up. No, wait, there's one more. There's one more. This is the easy one. Let's do a bit advanced. Okay, bit advanced for today. Then you can do the practice if you want. Is it making sense today? It's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, so right now this is the basic way to do the graph. The second method will be graphing using the pipe operator. So now graphing with the pipe operator. This is the method we will use, okay, because it's a bit better. Okay, so let's write down the second method, graphing with the pipe operator. It's nearly the same, nothing different. But you have to start with the data frame here. You say df and put the pipe operator and enter. Okay, then you jump to ggplot. So df pipe operator ggplot. Now if you look at the top one here, we gave the data here. But in this one, you don't have to do that because the pipe operator has already told them the data is df.
How do you get
Control Shift and M. Okay, you can directly start with AES. You don't even have to say mapping. And open a bracket. And then do the same thing. You don't even have to say X equals. You can directly say age, comma, what was it? Following. And then the same thing, plus your point. Let's give the size equals 3, same thing. We'll see what is different here. Plus geom line, right? Something like this. And let's do Control Enter. So look at that. It just makes the same graph, but very less typing. Okay, now let's see why this is important. So let's do one more thing. In aesthetics, okay, I'll put another comma. Look here, this is important. So in aesthetics, I'll put another comma and say color equals gender. Say something like this. What do you think will happen? If I say color equals gender, but in aesthetics, not in geom point. Any guesses what will happen? Let's see, use a little bit more than outside what we are doing. What do you think will happen? Very good. It will break the graph into male and female with different colors.
You have to tell it what colors.
You can tell it in geom line.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now if you do Control Enter, look at that. Does that make sense? If you want the color points to be black, you say color equals black for this one and so on. In geom line, you can say color of male equals something and something. You can try that. Wait, where's the error? Oh, black is in double quotes. Sorry, in double quotes. So look at that. Okay, now the question is, I only want to look at the male graph or only the female graph. I don't want male and female both to show up here. Any ideas what you will do? So before, yeah.
What's the difference between this graph and the example it's got?
The last one was the total of both male and female. Now it's breaking down into males and females, two separate graphs.
Okay, without type operator, you can do that. Like,
You can do that as well, yeah, but you have to type a lot.
it's easier this way.
It's easier this way, yeah. This is the standard way people do it in the industry. They don't use that basic typing a lot. Something else we did last week that can take out something completely. Filter, very good. So before ggplot, you say filter. Say gender equal female. And now if I run it, see what happens. Oh, okay. What is the error here? Anybody can find the error? Yeah. The plus sign only works in ggplot. So pipe operator. Remember, you need the pipe operator for any other functions. So Control Shift M. Now if I do Control Enter, look at that. Only the female graph is shown. Make sense? Pretty cool. So next week we'll learn 3 more graphs. This is the beginning of graphs, okay? But next week we'll do 3 more graphs. Okay, so we'll now go to Blackboard. Hold on, let me stop the